What's up, guys? Today we are taking a look at the summer 2021 LEGO Star Wars Ultimate Collector Series Republic Gunship. This has been something we've been waiting for a long time, and we finally have it in hand. Huge thanks to LEGO for providing today's copy. I'll also be making a review over on the Empire Lug channel. I'll leave a link down below. Go check that out after you watch today's video. So this set comes out August 1st. We'll be retailing for $349.99. Now this was the winner of the public UCS LEGO Ideas fan vote. It was between the Gunship, the TIE Bomber, and the Nebulon B Frigate, and the Gunship did emerge victorious, and we finally have a model to build, to unbox, and display, and show you guys in today's video. So starting off with the box here, we do have a sleek black background. LEGO's been doing this with all of their 18 upsets. Now, full disclaimer, you probably don't have to be 18 years or older to actually build it, but nonetheless, that is how it's oriented. Now, on the back of the box, you'll actually see some really cool imagery and art. So, of course, you have a side view of the Gunship. You can actually see a little bit of the interior, but you also get to see the first glimpse at the two minifigures, which we will get into in a little bit. Now, there are also images from episode 2 from which the Gunship is actually sourced. This is based off of the Attack of the Clones episode 2 Gunship, not necessarily the Clone Wars, so it is going to be a little different than maybe Gunships you've seen before. You have the images from the movie, and you also have a side-by-side comparison of the top turrets and the missiles, which is kind of cool. Now, something you'll notice if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan is there's actually a big mistake on this box. In fact, the logo's wrong. The logo on the box is actually the Imperial logo and not the Republic logo. This was a misprint. LEGO did address this with us, and they said they just made a mistake. It's kind of interesting that that got past Disney and both LEGO Star Wars design teams. So as far as we know, the first batch of Republic Gunship sets, probably hitting stores and maybe even online, will have this misprint. Now, in my opinion, that only drives up the collection value of this set. So LEGO will be going through and reprinting on the second wave and third wave and all the waves after of the sets and products, but for as far as we know, the first batch of Gunships will have this misprinted box. Now, admittedly, it is a small detail, but nonetheless, I feel like it's really important, especially with a set of this stature, so it is kind of crazy that that got through the different review teams, but nonetheless, that is how it is oriented. So there we go, a little more collection value for those of you guys picking this up day one. So I'm going to stop talking. I cannot contain my excitement. Let's go ahead and start unboxing this bad boy, and let's get started. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started here with the unboxing. We have the box here, and like I said, I'm going to try and keep this in a pretty good condition because of that misprint. So let's go ahead and get started here. Get the tape on open. Now this set retails for $349.99. Now I'm assuming there's going to be like a white box. Yeah, okay, so there's going to be another box inside a box, which is kind of what I expected from this one, honestly. So here we got a smaller white box. I'll actually go ahead and open this guy first. So here we have the white box that comes in the bigger sets. This is something that LEGO's been doing for quite a while. Usually the instructions, the stickers, and other bags are actually going to be inside here. It allows it to be a little more safe during transportation when you buy it if something really gets damaged. Right off the bat, we got a bunch of bags here just in the bigger one. Some pretty large Technic axles, which is gonna be cool. We do have the instructions inside here, plastic wrap. Looks like all stickers. I don't believe anything's printed other than the ball turrets, I want to say, just off first look, but of course we'll know for sure in the time being. And we also do have a bag with some printed parts here, which I assume are the only ones. So we do have the two cockpit pieces and then the ball turret as well, which do look printed, which is nice. No stickers on those. I'm sure these are both going to be exclusive to the Gunship. Oh, it looks like one of my bags actually got ripped. I hope there's no missing pieces. I'm gonna assume there's not, but there will be that possibility, I guess. Alrighty, so after getting everything sorted here, it looks like we have 17 numbered bags. I'd probably say anywhere between 2 to 3 quantities of bags with each numbered section. Then we also do have some really hard to find and exclusive parts that are gonna be included with UCS sets, obviously, such as the plaque, and we have these long axle rods as well. So lots of stuff in this entirety. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm assuming this is gonna take me a somewhat decent amount of time to build, so let's jump to the time lapse and get started. So after about 6 hours of building the gunship, over 3,000 pieces, here we go. It's massive. Here's a final model of the Republic Gunship UCS. Now, of course, this goes without saying, it is an Ultimate Collector Series set, so it's not necessarily going to be minifigure scale, nor is it going to be intended to be played with. So that's something really important to keep in mind here. Now, there was a lot of speculation as to what the gunship would look like, including myself. I didn't know if LEGO was going to try and do something more play scale oriented for UCS, although I did lean towards something of what we actually got, which is a much larger, blown up display with lots of cool, intricate detail and a huge model. And you guys can see here the minifigures are right down there, and this gunship is just absolutely massive, and it's just such a good model. So first, before we go ahead and start with the gunship or even the minifigures, I actually want to talk about this display stand. So like any other UCS display stand, it's primarily made of Technic brick, Technic pin, and tile. Of course, this makes it look super sleek, super clean, which is a nice bonus to a display set that is the UCS set. But what's unique about this is that it actually orients the gunship how it takes off. So actually, I first want to show you guys how it works. Basically, on this Technic stand, there is like this white little Lego piece here, and you also notice there is a hole that lines up directly inside the middle of the gunship in like that sort of main compartment area. Now, what's really cool about this UCS stand is that it actually orients the gunship in the way it would take off in the actual show or movie. Some of you guys know when a gunship lifts off, it usually goes back end first, and that's how it sort of lifts off. What's really cool is that the Technic stand actually captures that. So all you have to do is slide the white piece through the hole that is right in the middle of the gunship, and then you'll sort of feel like this little click in the front, and you can see here it's oriented like it's taking off in the movie. It almost looks like it's taking off from the Geonosian arena, sort of going back and up first, and then the nose sort of follows, which I thought that was really cool, and just a really cool like display feature and just like a cool nerd bonus, I guess, if you will. So of course, on the stand, like any other UCS set, you do have the display plaque. It is a sticker. I'm really hoping LEGO moves towards a printed version, which might drive up the price if they ever did that, but I think that'd just be so much cooler. So of course, you have all the information about the Republic Gunship, the manufacturer, the weaponry, all that stuff if you guys are interested. There also are the two minifigures here, which we'll get into right now. So the two minifigures are pretty disappointing. In fact, when LEGO did a fan vote for this specific ship, they asked us what minifigures we wanted. Now, of course, I don't have any insider knowledge about what minifigures were voted for most. However, I can't imagine Mace Windu and a Clone Commander were the #1 picks. Since we're getting an Episode 2 version, I would have loved to see maybe a brand new printed Episode 2 Anakin or an Episode 2 Padme or something like that would have been really cool. But nonetheless, we got Mace Windu and a Clone Commander, so let's take a look at them. The Clone Commander, for what it's worth, does look really good. You do have the brand new helmet that we've been seeing for the past couple of years in Phase 1. It is the realistic version, but it is kind of interesting. I feel like the torso and the printing looks slightly animated in nature. I'm not sure if that's just me. Let me know what you guys think about that. But as far as the color variant, it's mostly white and yellow. He does follow the older 501st blueprint where he has the actual different colored arms, which is definitely cool and unique to be getting in the set. He does have the standard medium nougat head we've been seeing for the past couple of sets with clones in them. In terms of printing, it's nothing crazy. It is very similar to the older clone captain that we've gotten a couple of years ago, but nonetheless, again, it's a good minifigure. For what it's worth, it's just not something I think we were necessarily looking forward to. And then here we have the Mace Windu minifigure, which actually looks really good. So the face printing is brand new, as well as the torso. You'll notice there are these little spots of like mud and dirt from the Geonosian sort of environment that are on the torso. That does make it brand new and exclusive to this set. As far as the legs go, I do believe we've seen the legs before. I could be wrong on that. I did check the most recent one, and it might look a little different, but I know for a fact that the head and the torso are brand new and exclusive, which is nice. And again, the last time we got a Mace Windu was a couple of years ago in the speeder bike for General Grievous. And for what it's worth, like I said, the minifigure itself looks very good. I don't have any complaints about it. It's just the fact that of what the selection was for the two minifigures, I'm not just overly fond of what we got. Now, it is worth mentioning, when I was on a LEGO Star Wars call with the designers and they were giving us a little bit of a rundown about the hints of the gunship, we asked about minifigures, and they said, quote, minifigures are a bonus. It's really all about the model. And I don't know if I 100% agree with that, but again, to stress it for what it's worth, the minifigures themselves look good. It's just, I don't think we really needed them or wanted those two minifigures specifically. So with that out of the way, let's start taking a look at the actual gunship itself. And all the LEGO designers stressed to us was how big this thing was going to be. And I really didn't comprehend how big it was going to be until I finally had it built, and I was like, holy crap, this thing is massive. So I'm going to show you guys something here. This is actually a custom model, but it is very similar to scale with the actual LEGO set version of the Republic Gunship. And you guys can see here the massive massive difference in size and scale and everything like that. Now we'll be doing a comparison video comparing this version to other gunships that I have, but you can see just how small this thing looks and dwarfed compared to the actual UCS version, which is crazy. So first off, let's talk just about the general color scheme. Obviously the gunship's going to be primarily dark red and white with some different dark and light bluish gray. The only printed pieces that we got in the set are the 2 cockpit pieces and then the ball turret pieces. Everything else you guys see is a transparent sticker, which honestly I don't mind too much. I feel like with a $350 price point and the lackluster minifigures, it would have been nice maybe to get some new printed stuff. But in terms of overall color and detail smacked into this gunship, I really don't have any complaints. So let's just start with the front and work our way back. Of course, you have that iconic front nose of the gunship. You have the different lime green colors mixed in with curved slopes and cheese slopes and giant other bricks that sort of make this front meshy, sort of cylindrical looking front section to the gunship. Of course, you have the 2 twin dual blasters on the front as well. Moving up towards the area of the cockpit, there's actually no functionality with the cockpit piece. There's no way that they open and close. You just have to sort of take off the actual cockpit piece itself to get a better look at the interior. Now, like I mentioned, this is an ultimate collector's set. This really isn't something you're playing with, so really the lack of play feature for that isn't bothering me too much. But the cockpit shields are awesome. They're brand new printed, like I said. They look huge, and inside there also is a cockpit area that you can use for any of your hypothetical pilots, although I don't think a minifigure would quite look too well inside this gunship in terms of scale. Surrounding the cockpit shields are the sort of dark red curved pieces that really sort of helps you accentuate on that iconic gunship shape. As you go towards the details below the cockpit and on the side of the nose, you'll notice there's a lot of cool different stuff we got going on. Of course, we have a lot of wedge plates and tiles. We also have some really large stickers that do help give the gunship that just extra added detail, which does look really good. You also notice the correct Republic logo. It is a sticker on the giant, I think that's a 3x3 round tile. Now, the entire top cockpit piece area, this like entire long piece right here, it's all one solid piece, and it was really rewarding and like one of those oddly satisfying things with Lego to finally like click it in and have it ready, which I just thought that was cool. Now, one of my favorite parts of the set here is the ball turrets. The ball turrets are connected by some Technic pieces inside, and they can actually move left and right, which is really cool. Like I said, these ball turret pieces are printed. This is the first time we're getting something like this. Now, what's really interesting is that these pieces aren't connected. It's kind of weird. It's basically split into 2 different sections, and they move out left and right to each other, and then you kind of sandwich it with the 2 ball pieces. So that's a really unique way of doing it, I guess. I think it really would have been nice to get like an actual stud connection, but again, it's a display set, so it's not really going anywhere. So those are really cool, and of course inside you do have like a seat and all that kind of stuff, again, for your hypothetical pilot or gunner, although a minifigure probably isn't going to scale right inside of the set by any means. Taking a look at the interior of the gunship, some pretty cool stuff here. You have the majority of it covered by either white plate or dark red tile and wedge plate. A really cool thing that I thought they added were these little black fence pieces. Now, these are actually representative of the little hanging safety handles inside the gunship. If you guys remember episode 2, you'll notice that after they get picked up from the arena, they hang on to like this sort of ceiling hanging sort of like safety clip. I guess it's like if you're in a car and you have that like safety handle, it's pretty much the same thing. So I thought that was a really cool detail that they added inside the gunship. And you'll also see there are some 1x1 transparent tile that do give it some more color, which of course is nice. Now, the gunship doors do move back and forth. Of course, it is the episode 2 version, so there are no front portions of the door. It is only going to be that back half. You can see here there are accurate gaps inside the door as well, which is nice. They're not using the transparent tile to represent this sort of window in the gunship door, which is nice. Those do move back and forth on some Technic pieces very nicely, very smooth. Overall, nothing crazy about them. Now, on the back of the gunship, you'll notice there also is another door. You can actually unhook this door, and this is hypothetically where like an ATRT or maybe even other troops would sort of unload and get onto the ship as well. Now, of course, maybe even the 501st ATRT would look good. In fact, I have the 501st ATRT. Let's see how this thing actually compares with the gunship, since both of these are drastically bigger than minifigure scale. So, I mean, it definitely still is a little bigger than you probably might expect, but I mean, it looks pretty decently sized accurate to the gunship, which this just goes to show you how big this model is, that the ATRT looks somewhat scalable to the gunship. Now, of course, you'll notice some other details on the back of the gunship here. You do have that rear ball turret, which does move, so accuracy is definitely important there. You also have these black grill pieces with some modified plates and tiles to represent like the back vents of the gunship, which I thought looked really good. Now, moving towards the top of the gunship here, you have these long missile launchers, and I think these guys are maybe one of the more iconic parts of the gunship when it comes to the vehicle. What's really cool is on the top here you have the missile launchers, and they are connected by gears, so they actually spin together. And that was something that you guys saw in the beginning of the video at the back of the box art, and you guys saw these two spinning, which was just a really cool detail LEGO did decide to add. Now, the actual missile turrets themselves are comprised mainly of quarter circle, half circle bricks, and like giant panels, and I think the overall shape is definitely achieved. You also have some extra stickers in dark red and black to give it some extra detail. Now, I didn't quite realize how massive these missile launchers were until I actually looked at the set itself, but these things are about maybe 60-65% of the length of the entire gunship, which I was surprised by. And then the last part aesthetically to talk about with the gunship are the wings. Now, the wings are one of my favorite parts, and they are hugely long. I mean, you guys can see here, I'll give you a front end view of the gunship. The wings are probably even longer than the length of the entire gunship itself. Now, they're mainly comprised of plates and wedge plates and then wedge bricks, and this basically makes it look flat so the wings don't look bulky, but it does achieve that overall look that the wings are going for. So you have a mix of colors. You have dark red, you have white, light bluish gray. You also have additional ball turrets on either side, which is cool. So in total you get 8 printed ball turret pieces, which is kind of cool. And you can see here the different mixes of pieces. You have the modified plates, you have the 6x6 white tile, you have all these other cool pieces and colors to give you that good look. And you'll also notice in the front and the back sides of the wings, there are these smaller panels that help to seal that gap between the wing and the rest of the body of the gunship. So I think it just overall contributes to a very complete look of the gunship itself, especially with regards to the wings. Now, one thing I did forget to mention about the way it's oriented is that the gunship naturally is going to be very back heavy. So of course you have all of the weight and the distribution. You can even see here how I'm sort of pushing it back a little bit. All the weight is distributed towards the back sides of the gunship. I mean, that's where the majority of everything is. You have the missile launchers, you have the wings and everything like that. So what's also good about the stand is that how it's oriented is it distributes that weight evenly. So over time, as you display the set, you're not going to be really warping any pieces or anything's going to be bending over time, which is also just another plus about the Technic stand. So guys, that pretty much wraps up everything I have to talk about with this UCS Republic Gunship. I am incredibly happy with how this thing came out aesthetically, functionally. I don't have really any complaints about the gunship. It's just those minifigures were not something I was personally looking for. So let me know down below what you guys think of the UCS Republic Gunship, especially with that new misprinted box art that you guys know of. Are you going to be picking it up on day 1, August 1st? Are you going to be waiting for a little bit? Maybe it's just a double points purchase for you. Let me know down below in the comments, guys. Of course, drop a like if you enjoyed today's video. I think overall this is pretty much a 9.5 out of 10 set. It's just those minifigures for me, but other than that, I think it's beautiful. I don't have any room to display it, so we're gonna have to try and find a new spot to display this guy next. But thank you guys for watching again. Let me know down below in the comments your favorite part of the gunship aesthetically, and yeah, I think that's all we got. So I'll see you guys later. Take it easy. Peace.